Hello, welcome to our daily news, and here are the headlines. Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung's activities at the 27th ASEAN Summit. ASEAN leaders signed a declaration on establishment of ASEAN community. Vietnam's shellfish industry needs makeover. State President Nguyen Tan Dung attended activities held in the Mekong Delta province of Long An to mark the 75th anniversary of Nam Kỳ Khởi Nghĩa, or Southern Uprising, that broke out on November 23, 2040. Addressing a ceremony to commemorate the Southern Uprising on November 21st, President Dung stated that the uprising was the continuation and promotion of the patriotic tradition of the Vietnamese nation and people. He said the uprising created a premise for the victory of the August Revolution in 1945 and the 30-year resistance war for national liberation and unification in 1975. The state leader also recalled the Đức Lập victory 50 years ago, stressing that the event on November 20, 1965 contributed significantly to the final victory of the country's resistance war against the U.S. imperialists. Earlier, President Dung cut the ribbons to inaugurate a monument dedicated to fallen soldiers during the Southern Uprising and the Đức Lập victory stele. Now we move to other important news. Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung met leaders of the United States, Russia, Australia, and Indonesia on the sidelines of the 27th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Our reporter will bring you more details. At the meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama, Prime Minister Dung affirmed that Vietnam wants to strengthen a comprehensive and effective partnership with the U.S. He asked the U.S. to make more positive contributions to ensuring peace, stability, and prosperity in the region, including the East Sea. The U.S. President voiced his support for Vietnam's stance on the East Sea issue, saying that Vietnam and other ASEAN members need to have a common voice and increase collaboration to resolve disputes by peaceful measures on the basis of international law and other regional agreements. Prime Minister Dung took this occasion to invite President Obama to soon visit Vietnam, and the U.S. leader accepted the invitation. The same day, Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung had a meeting with Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev. Both leaders expressed their pleasure at the results of economic, trade, and investment cooperation over the past years, especially the signing of a free trade agreement between Vietnam and the Eurasia Economic Union, which opened new opportunities for bilateral ties. To prepare for the upcoming Vietnam-Russia intergovernmental meeting, the two leaders agreed to instruct relevant agencies to finalize a list of tasks to be implemented in 2016, including the acceleration of major projects on nuclear power, oil and gas, and auto assembly. Regarding the East Sea issue, Prime Minister Medvedev stressed that to resolve the disputes peacefully, concerned parties need to strictly abide by international laws, including the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. During the meeting with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, the two leaders expressed their joy at the stronger and deeper development of the bilateral strategic partnership. They discussed and agreed upon a range of measures to bolster political, economic, trade, investment, tourism, education, and training cooperation between Vietnam and Australia. The two leaders also shared concerns about complicated developments in the East Sea, saying these have threatened peace, stability, security, as well as navigation and air safety and freedom in the waters. They stressed the importance of respecting international law, including the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. During a meeting on November 22nd, Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung and Indonesian President Joko Widodo discussed measures to strengthen cooperation and dialogue between the two countries in politics, diplomacy, trade, investment, security, defense, and maritime cooperation. Both leaders underscored the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the East Sea, respecting international law, fully and effectively implement the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the East Sea, and soon finalizing a code of conduct in the waters. Prime Minister Dung asked the Indonesian government to properly deal with cases relating to Vietnamese vessels and fishermen on the basis of humanitarian spirit. President Joko Widodo reiterated Indonesia's consistent policy of boosting its cooperation and friendship with Vietnam. On November 22nd, Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung attended a number of events in the framework of the 27th ASEAN Summit and related summits in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Speaking at the 10th East Asia Summit, Prime Minister Dung proposed ASEAN members and partners to focus on fields of mutual concern such as education, narrowing the development gaps, agriculture, sub-regional connectivity and cooperation, a response to non-traditional security challenges. In regards to the East Sea issue, the leader stated that Vietnam always spares no efforts, together with countries, to turn the East Sea into a region of peace, stability, and cooperation. Vietnam supports the settlement of all disputes through peaceful measures based on international law, including the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, and opposes the use or threat to use violence, he said. In that spirit, Prime Minister Dung called on regional countries to step up the implementation of trust-building measures, reduce tensions, prevent conflicts, and not to conduct any militarization actions in the East Sea. At the 18th ASEAN-Japan Summit, Prime Minister Dung applauded Japan's sharing with the bloc of profound concerns about recent developments in the East Sea, especially unilateral actions to change the status quo, eroding the trust, increasing tensions, and affecting regional peace, stability, and security. The Vietnamese leader urged partners, including Japan, to continue their support for ASEAN's stance and contribute to the maintenance of peace, stability, security, as well as navigation and air safety in the East Sea. At the ASEAN-New Zealand 40th Anniversary Commemorative Summit, leaders agreed to lift the ASEAN-New Zealand relationship to strategic partnership. The two sides also agreed on a wide range of cooperation priorities, with a focus placed on ensuring peace and stability in the region, dealing with traditional and non-traditional security challenges, navigation, economic integration, agriculture, trade, investment, energy, education, tourism, natural disaster management, environment, climate change, and health care. Addressing the 17th ASEAN Republic of Korea Summit, Prime Minister Dung asked the Republic of Korea to boost its support to ASEAN in narrowing development gaps through the Initiative for ASEAN Integration and Mekong Sub-Region Development. He also requested the country to promote the implementation of projects to support Mekong Sub-Region countries, especially in the effective and sustainable use of Mekong water resources. Amidst emerging security challenges, Prime Minister Dung emphasized the need to strengthen cooperation between ASEAN and the Republic of Korea to maintain regional peace, stability, and security, and requested the country to continue its support for ASEAN's position on the East Sea issue. Also on November 22nd, Prime Minister Nguyen Tan Dung led a Vietnamese delegation to attend the 7th ASEAN United Nations Summit. Also on November 22nd, leaders from 10 ASEAN member countries signed the 2015 Kuala Lumpur Declaration on the establishment of the ASEAN Community and the Kuala Lumpur Declaration on ASEAN Community Vision 2025. Our correspondent reported from Malaysia. The signing of the declarations was witnessed by heads of state from 8 dialogue and partner nations of ASEAN, namely Australia, China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, New Zealand, India, Russia, and the United States. The 2015 Kuala Lumpur Declaration on the establishment of the ASEAN Community is a milestone in the process of regional integration. The establishment of the ASEAN community with three pillars, the political security community, economic community, and socio-cultural community, will help the region integrate deeper and broader, compete more effectively, and enhance ASEAN's role. Meanwhile, the Kuala Lumpur on ASEAN Community Vision 2025 works out a roadmap for the bloc's development over the next decade and creates a framework for ASEAN connectivity in the 2016-2025 period.
Thank you very much.
The ASEAN vision aims to realize a political cohesive, economically integrated, socially responsible, and truly rules-based, people-oriented, people-centered ASEAN community, where the peoples continue to participate in and benefit fully from the ongoing process of ASEAN integration and community building. The closing ceremony of the 27th ASEAN Summit and related summits was held at the end of the day.
Establishment of the ASEAN community.
Experts say after a hasty start, Vietnam's shellfish industry should now plan an image makeover to improve the quality of exports and be competitive for a long term.
Experts say the shellfish industry grew 2 to 3 times in export value every year between 2002 and 2009. But the export value growth was unchanged in 2010 and started dropping from 2011. The total export value of shellfish reached $1.7 billion in 2014, a slight increase of 0.4% against 2013. The average export price for shellfish products stood at $3.11 per kilo in 2002, but is presently between $2.1 and $2.3. Meanwhile, farmers have not seen much profit from rearing shellfish and even suffered losses due to the lower selling price in 2010. The industry faced numerous problems in production, processing and exports of shellfish due to hasty development in the past, which led to unsustainable development of the industry now and could possibly affect the future. Those problems include the unstable quality of export products, effects on the environment and the society, higher production costs, and lack of highly processed shellfish products. The European Union is the biggest importer of shellfish products, and Vietnamese shellfish must compete with other kinds of whitefish like tilapia. Meanwhile, Vietnam has been unable to conduct branding activities for Vietnamese shellfish, and that has also affected production and exports. The industry has produced 20 new products to meet the demands of the European Union, cut production costs, and applied new technology for production and processing of shellfish products. In addition, experts propose the state should initiate policies related to the development of the shellfish industry, increase the quality, and diversify its products.
The government will invest around approximately $4.8 billion into transport infrastructure in the Central Highlands from now to 2020. According to the region's steering committee, about $2.9 billion comes from the state budget, government bonds, and official development assistance, and the remaining will be sought from resources in society. For local transport system, the government will invest more than $1.1 billion to build and upgrade trans-regional roads and roads connecting with other provincial and rural roads. The steering committee said the government has mobilized $2.8 billion during the 2010-2015 to upgrade the road network in the Central Highlands, in which $845 million for provinces to improve their local roads and $445 million for rural roads. The provinces themselves also invested $45 million to build 493 bridges for remote or disadvantaged areas. Additionally, airports in the region, such as Pleiku in Gia Lai Province, Buôn Ma Thuột in Đắk Lắk Province, and Liên Khương in Lâm Đồng Province, were upgraded as well. And that's the end of our program. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.